welcome back to another Remembering Forgotten Memories video. So, I don't know if this one's just me, or if this is like an every little kid kind of weird fascination kind of thing, but when I was real little, I think this is what sparked it off, because I don't know that I would have had this weird fascination otherwise, but I had one of those Teddy Ruxpin books. I forget what the title was, but basically the gist of it, it had like really super like macro close-up photos of like everyday things, like either through a magnifying glass or through like a microscope or something, and I just found that fascinating as hell and thought it was so cool. But obviously, as like a real little kid, my dad was not about to give me a microscope yet. I got one later. But what he did give me to play with was a magnifying glass, which just provided hours and hours of amusement for me, not just all in one go, but just I found it fascinating to like go around and look at stuff like super up close. Just really cool. I assume most little kids are probably fascinated by stuff like that if they have access to such a thing, and mine wasn't like a shitty little plastic one. No, mine was like an actual, legit, real one. Glass, everything. So, that was a whole thing, just in and of itself, on its own, baseline, from the word go. Almost as early as I can remember, I was already doing that. Legit, like 3 years old, I was already going around doing that. Should have stood as no surprise that I wanted a microscope by the time I was school age. But anyway, the fact that I was a terrible student, like a dropout, is kind of impressive because by all accounts, I should have been the nerdiest nerd, but whatever. We can't all be intellectuals, but anyway. So, this one... God, you would think this would be a harmless enough thing to give a kid to play with as long as they're careful to not break the glass, which was never an issue for me. I was the one really cautious little kid who was pretty good about not breaking stuff. Like, I don't know, even like my grandparents entrusted me with like super breakable stuff because they knew I was pretty freaking careful even as a toddler, like really delicate. So, that was not an issue. What was an issue was fast forward a few years, and my mom, this was in the first of the summers that we spent house sitting for my grandparents while they were in Vermont, she decided, as I was like going around the background with this thing, just like looking at stuff, because I thought it was interesting and cool, she's like, hey, wanna see something cool? And I was like, yeah, because why would I not? She's like, I'm gonna show you a trick, but don't do it on your own. Like, make sure I'm around if you do it. Like, don't do it alone, because it could be dangerous. A lot of you see where this is going already. Oh, God, like... I did not know at that age quite yet what the word pyro meant. Nor did I understand that my mom is one. Or that all four of us kind of little bit have that within us. At least we haven't been terribly problematic with it the way she was in her youth. But anyway, so you know that whole thing where you take a magnifying glass in the sunlight and make a pinpoint with like the bright light and it burns a hole and stuff? Yeah, that. She took a piece of paper out in the backyard on the patio, so at least it was just like on like rock ground. It couldn't really like do anything bad. And she held it and she shoved me and she like lit the paper on fire that way. I was like, I couldn't decide if this was fascinating and cool or if it was horrifying that this was a thing that could happen, because I did not know that this beloved toy of mine could be used for evil. But yeah, but again, don't do this if I'm not around. Okay, I won't. So, that lasted all of like a day. But, no, like, not with me doing it behind her back. No. I mean, this lasted a day before she's like, can I see it again? Okay. I'm gonna show you another trick. Oh boy, what now? And she does like a bunch of little teeny tiny like pinhole burns to like spell my initials. And oh, okay, now this got more interesting. Because now it's a creative artistic thing in my head. Now is when it was beginning to become a problem, because now I wanted to make pictures with it that way. And I was good with, like, not letting, like, the paper catch, like, fire or anything. I was good with that. But what I was not noticing was that I was burning the same designs I was doing into the paper into the frickin' ground of my grandparents' patio. Yeah, they were none too pleased with this, and it didn't even register in my head. Even when I, like, picked up the paper, I think I assumed, like, I saw it, but I think I assumed this was gonna be something, like, with chalk, where you can just, like, hit it with some water, it'll be fine, it'll rinse away. No, not so much. And this was a very light-colored, like, pavers situation, so I was like, oh, shit. But of course, like, this whole summer goes by of me doing this. And my grandparents come home. They didn't even say anything about it. They didn't question it. Well, if they questioned it, they didn't say anything, but they didn't say anything to me. But of course, like, their pavers are wiped the fuck out at this point, right? So, mostly all in one area, because I kept doing it in the same spot, but, like, still. I think my mom, like, tried to cover it with, like, some potted plants, but anyway. It was only a matter of time after they came back that now I'm up in my grandparents' house. My mom's not even there now. Now it's just me, like, hanging out there, as you do. And I'm like, Grandma, I want to show you something. I want to show you a trick that I learned. And of course, she, you know, being my wonderful grandma, was always supportive of whatever I wanted to do. And okay, show me. So I take her to the backyard, I take a piece of paper, and I find her magnifying glass, because this wasn't when I was staying there, so I didn't have mine with me, but I grab hers. I do the thing, and she's mortified. Not because I'm doing it, but because, Jennifer, lift the paper. What? You're burning my ground. Oh. I don't think it, like, dawned on me until then that, oh, this is, like, damage. Oh. I'm sorry. And she made me promise not to do it anymore, so okay, fine. I didn't do it anymore. At her house. Instead, the school year starts, and I take my new trick to school. And just, of all the ways this could have gone down, of all the people I could have shown this to, it makes no sense in my head. Why? Just, why? But the bully of all bullies that tormented me my whole damn childhood, I decided I'm gonna show it to her, because clearly she's not already dangerous enough as is. No, now I'm gonna teach her how to light shit on fire with a magnifying glass. So I have, like, a piece of paper. Actually, I think I had an index card that day. And I swiped one of the magnifying glasses from the classroom, like, pocketed that shit while no one was looking. Hey, want to see something? It's really cool. I was thinking maybe if I showed her a cool thing, maybe she wouldn't kick my ass that day. Anyway, so she's thinking, you're stupid, it won't be cool, but no, really, come on. So, alongside the school, like, this school was, like, a private school, so, like, the layout was, like, there's a school, there's, like, the stack hall, like, I don't know what you would call that, but basically, not community center, but, like, I don't know, multi-purpose building. Okay, so there's that there. And then the other side of that is the church, because this is a Catholic school, and then the whole rest of everything else is like a parking lot, mostly for the church, but at recess time, that also was where the school kids had their recess. Just try not to get hit by any friggin' cars. So, there's this big, wide open space. Could have gone over to anywhere. Could have gone to the playground. Could have gone to literally anywhere in this huge space, but no. I decide the benches literally alongside the school, where, like, every freaking yard duty is hanging around. Oh, this is where I'm gonna do the thing. I would have gotten away with it had I done it anywhere else, but no, I choose the dumbest spot possible. I pick up my index card, and I take out my magnifying glass. I'm like, watch this. And I start doing her name in it, la, knowing damn well I'm burning into the bench, and I don't care, because I hate this freaking school, and I want to be kicked out, and I want to be done with it. Anyway, I'm fully aware at this point I'm being destructive and problematic, and in that moment, I don't give a fuck. So I'm doing the thing, and she's like, whoa! And I'm like, yeah, you want to do it? Here! So I give it to her, and I'm just hopeful that she won't kick my ass that day. And it's in that moment I hear, Jennifer! Uh-oh. Here comes one of the RDs. What? What are you doing? Showing her my trick? You're starting fires! Yeah, you're going to the principal. I'm taking you to the principal right now. I'm taking both of you to the principal. So I get dragged in to the principal's. I have to explain what I was doing. Have to explain that I wasn't trying to destroy school property. Get told that they're going to be calling my parents. That my parents are going to pay for the damages. You know, that whole chestnut. My dad is just like, on one hand horrified, on the other hand he knows there is only one person who would have taught me that in the first place. So he's not even like fully mad at me, because he's pretty sure this isn't 100% my fault. He knows it's my mom's fault. So they get into it before I even get home from school. I come home, my mom's pissed at me for ratting her out for teaching me the trick. Fuck my life. But it's just like, but I hadn't even talked to my dad yet. How did she know? But, like, he was able to connect the dots all on his own to know. Or maybe my grandma had ratted me out first, and now here I am doing the thing again. But, like, bro. It was at that moment, on that day, that they took away the beloved magnifying glass. And I did not get to own another one until adulthood, when I bought my fucking own. So... As you do. And anytime my dad sees me with that, he's like, I swear to God, you better not be starting fires in that thing. I was like, I'm not! I'm using it like a normal person, relax! I'm using it to try to read. I need readers, and I don't have them. I'm trying to friggin' read stuff, relax. It's like, fine, still mad at you. Had to pay for a new bench. You didn't pay for a new bench, you paid for paint. You paid for paint to replace the paint on the bench. You didn't buy a new bench. Relax. Anyway. Yeah. The fact that 30 years later I have not lived this down. Anytime he sees me with one, I was like, oh my god, grow up. But on the other hand, God, like of all the things I did in my childhood, that's the one he's gonna latch on to and lord over me for freaking forever? Really? That's the one? There's so many worse things, but okay. Okay. Whatever. But I literally, like, fast forward a little further. Or actually, hold on, I have to tap something on the computer so I don't time out on data entry. 1 second. Okay, anyway. So, fast forward a few years. Toy Story comes out. We see it in the theater. And it hits that scene where Sid has the magnifying glass and he's, like, burning a hole on Woody's forehead with it because he's a shitty kid. Anyway, it was in this moment that I realized my mom did not invent this trick. Because I think, in my head, up till that moment, I thought she had, like, designed this herself somehow. Like, she was the only one on Earth who knew how to do this thing, and now I was privy to this info. But in that moment, I see that on the screen, and I turn to my mom and I go, Mom, who do you know at Pixar? They did your thing! Like, this is the middle of the theater, middle of the movie, and I'm asking them, just yeah. Every time it hits that part of the movie, but I watch it still, because I still watch Toy Story, I still think of that every damn time. And it was after the movie was over, we were in the car on the way home, and she had to explain that, yeah, I didn't make that up. That's just a thing. It's a thing that works. I didn't invent it. It's just a thing. Oh my god, like, up until that day, I thought she had invented the magnifying glass trick. Giving her far too much credit. But anyway. Oh god, it's just amusing to me. It's stupid, but it's amusing. So, anyway. Do I still do that? No. I have not done that since the bench day at school. In case anyone was wondering. But, anyway. I suppose that's it. I don't think there's anything else I can think of that's related to this at all. So, guess it ends there. It's not much of a story, but there you go. So anyway, that's it for this one. So as usual, you know what to do. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a like. If you're not already and you'd like to be, click subscribe. Hit that notification bell icon so you never miss an upload. Leave comments down below. Make sure you're following my social media accounts, my Facebook fan page, my Twitter, my Instagram, my eBay, my Reddit, everything and more. It's all down below. And if you like what I do here on this channel, you'd like to help support it, the donation link, as always, is down in the description. Anyway, guys, till next time, see ya.